Before Gabriel spoke again, the world was left in silence. 2,000 years without a single word from one of the most important figures in biblical history. Why has this celestial messenger, who once brought the most groundbreaking announcements, like the birth of Christ himself, remained completely silent for millennia? What is he waiting for? What secret is he guarding? And why has it been kept from us for so long? Have we been left in the dark about something incredibly significant? Is there a hidden truth behind Gabriel's silence, a reason we cannot yet comprehend? The answer may be more earth-shattering than you ever imagined. In this video, you will uncover the mystery of Gabriel's silence and how this celestial being, the archangel of prophecy and divine messages, has been silently watching humanity's journey, waiting for the perfect moment to speak once more. Together, we will dive into the profound truth that explains why this silence exists and what it signals for the future of humanity. Brace yourself, because what you are about to discover will change your understanding of time, destiny, and the very plan of God. The reason behind Gabriel's silence is not just about waiting. It's a sign, a divine countdown that has yet to finish. Are you ready to hear the truth? Why has Gabriel been silent for 2,000 years? For 2 millennia, Gabriel, the archangel of heaven, has remained silent. This silence is not random. It's not a mere lapse in divine communication. It's part of a master plan. Gabriel, who once boldly proclaimed the birth of Christ and delivered prophecies of immense significance, has kept his lips sealed for reasons far beyond our understanding. But what if this silence is the key to something far greater than we could ever imagine? What if the very silence we've been questioning is the signal that something momentous is about to unfold, something that will alter the course of humanity forever? Why has Gabriel waited? Why has he, the messenger of divine truth, chosen to be still for so long? What is he truly waiting for? And more importantly, how does his silence speak to us today? The reality is, Gabriel's silence is not a passive act. It's a divine gesture, a pause before the storm. Imagine standing at the edge of eternity, feeling the weight of time itself pressing down on you, waiting for the perfect moment to speak. Gabriel, in his divine wisdom, knows that his words will come at the precise moment needed to usher in the next great revelation, and that moment is closer than you might think. Gabriel is waiting for a shift, an awakening in humanity that will prepare us for what is coming next. In this moment of silence, there is a profound lesson for us. We too are called to wait with purpose. Just as Gabriel waits for the appointed time, we are called to wait for the divine timing in our own lives. The waiting is not passive, it's preparation. When we feel like nothing is happening, when we wonder if our prayers are unheard, Gabriel's silence reminds us that sometimes the most significant movements are the ones that happen in the quietest moments. The truth behind the silence, a divine lesson in waiting. Gabriel's silence is not a punishment or abandonment. It's a lesson in patience, in divine timing, and in the belief that what is meant to happen will happen. We all go through seasons of waiting, and it's easy to become discouraged, wondering if anything is moving forward. But the truth is, God's plans are always in motion, even when we don't see the immediate results. Gabriel's waiting is the living proof of this. He didn't remain silent because he was passive or forgotten. He waited because he understood that timing is everything in the divine narrative. Take a moment to reflect. How often do we try to rush God's plan in our own lives? How often do we take matters into our own hands, only to realize that we were too early, too hasty, or too impatient? Gabriel's silence teaches us that when we wait on God's timing, the outcome is always far greater than what we could have imagined on our own. Think about the times in your life when you've waited patiently for something, a relationship, a career change, a breakthrough in your personal growth. At the time, it may have felt like nothing was happening, but now, in hindsight, you can see that everything was falling into place exactly as it was meant to. Gabriel's silence mirrors these seasons of waiting. He waits because he knows the power of divine timing. Nothing can rush it, and nothing can delay it. But here's the most powerful part of Gabriel's silence. It's not a forever silence. Gabriel will speak again. His silence, like the calm before a storm, will give way to a divine declaration that will change the world. This is the promise. Silence doesn't mean absence. Silence is just a temporary pause, the space before a breakthrough. As we face our own seasons of silence, Gabriel's story reminds us that waiting is not wasted time. It is a time of preparation, of spiritual growth, and of laying the foundation for something miraculous. Just like Gabriel, we must trust in the divine purpose behind our silence, and know that when the time is right, God will speak, and everything will unfold according to His will. The power of Gabriel's silence. In our lives today, what can we learn from Gabriel's silence, and how can it impact our lives today? Gabriel's silence teaches us that there is power in waiting. In a world that thrives on instant gratification, it can be incredibly difficult to embrace silence. We are constantly bombarded with distractions, notifications, messages, the pressure to be always on. But the truth is, real growth, real transformation happens in the quiet moments. Just as Gabriel waits, we too must embrace the silence that comes before the shift. Think about it. Every great movement in history, every profound change in your personal life was preceded by a period of silence. The quiet moments are not the end, they are the beginning. Gabriel's silence is a reminder that great things are often birthed in the stillness. His waiting is a prophetic act, a reminder that God is always at work, even in the quietest moments. The key is this: when we are in a season of silence, we must trust the process. We must believe that God is orchestrating every moment, preparing us for what is to come. The silence doesn't mean that God is absent. It means that He is preparing us for something greater than we could ever imagine. So, what can we do while we wait? We prepare, we strengthen our faith, we trust. Gabriel's silence teaches us the power of anticipation, the incredible things that happen when we believe that God's timing is always perfect. We learn to wait with expectation, knowing that just as Gabriel will speak again, so too will the answers to our prayers come in due time. Now, as we continue this journey, we'll discover not just the reason behind Gabriel's silence, but the incredible mystery of what happens next. Stay with us as we unravel the next chapter of this divine plan. The prophetic return of Gabriel. What is the message he will bring? Imagine this. For centuries, the earth has waited, eyes straining to the heavens, yearning for a divine voice to break the silence. Gabriel, the messenger who once announced the birth of the Savior, who stood in the presence of God to deliver his most profound messages, is still silent. But what if I told you that the silence is the beginning of the most powerful revelation yet? What if Gabriel's silence is not an absence, but a divine preparation, building up to the most monumental moment in history? The silence we've experienced for 2,000 years is not just waiting, it's anticipation. It's the calm before the storm, the moments before the trumpet of prophecy sounds. What is Gabriel waiting for? The answer is both simple and terrifying. The perfect moment to deliver a message that will shake the very foundations of the earth. The return of Gabriel is not just a return of a messenger, it's the return of God's divine purpose fully realized and revealed to humanity. And when Gabriel speaks again, we will know that the time is finally upon us. Think about it. The greatest moments in history were preceded by years, decades, sometimes centuries of silence. We wait for the breakthrough. We wait for the fulfillment of promises, for the manifestation of prophecies. Gabriel's silence is the ultimate divine countdown, and when it ends, nothing will ever be the same. Just imagine the power of this moment. When Gabriel speaks, everything will change. The way we view time, destiny, and our place in the grand narrative of creation will shift forever. The silence is building towards a final crescendo that will echo through the heavens and on earth. What will Gabriel reveal when he finally breaks the silence? What secrets, what divine truths will he unveil to us? The world is on the brink, and we are part of this epic story, waiting for the moment when the voice of heaven speaks once more. The lesson in Gabriel's silence, a call to prepare. Now, while we wait for Gabriel's return, there is something deeply significant about his silence. This silence isn't just for Gabriel. It's a message to each and every one of us. In our own lives, we experience seasons of silence, of waiting, where nothing seems to happen. But just as Gabriel waits for the perfect moment, so too must we prepare. Every season of waiting is not wasted. It's in these quiet moments that God shapes us, refines us, and gets us ready for the big moment. When the time comes, we must be prepared. Gabriel's silence is not just a pause. It's a divine preparation, not only for what is to come, but for who we must become. Think of the greatest accomplishments, the most monumental shifts in human history. They were never the result of rushing. They were the result of quiet preparation, patience, and trust in divine timing. Gabriel's silence and our faith. What does it mean for you? So, what does this mean for you right now? In the midst of life's noise, in the middle of all the distractions, the hustle, and the chaos, Gabriel's silence reminds us of something profound: patience and trust in God's timing. Sometimes God speaks the loudest in the silence. We are living in a time where everything moves quickly, where we feel the need to take action immediately. But Gabriel's example teaches us that sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is to wait. We all have moments in life when we feel like we're standing still, like nothing is changing. It feels like we're waiting for something, but we don't know what it is. In those moments, remember that God is still working behind the scenes, preparing you for the moment when everything will fall into place. Just as Gabriel waited, so too must we trust in the preparation that is happening in the unseen. Think of how a seed grows. At first you see nothing. It's underground, hidden from sight. But it's growing stronger, roots forming deep beneath the surface. In the same way, God is growing your character, your faith, and your purpose in the unseen moments. When the time is right, when God's perfect timing arrives, you will blossom, you will rise, and the world will see the fruit of what has been prepared in the silence. The key is trust. Trust that the silence is not abandonment, it's preparation. Gabriel's silence is a divine reminder that when we wait on God, the outcome is always far greater than anything we could have imagined. The silence isn't the end, it's the beginning of something extraordinary. Just as Gabriel is preparing for the moment to speak, we too are preparing for the divine moment when God's promises are revealed in our own lives. Gabriel's silence is a call to lean into the waiting, to trust that everything happening right now, even in the quiet, is part of the grand design. Embrace the silence, because it's in the silence that we are made ready for what comes next. The significance of Gabriel's final message. Are you ready? As we await the final moment when Gabriel will speak again, the question remains: are you ready for what he will say? This message will not be like any other. It will carry the weight of centuries of divine prophecy, and it will call humanity to action. It will challenge us, heal us, and transform us. Are you ready to hear the message that will change everything? Are you prepared to step into the destiny that has been building for thousands of years? The time is coming when Gabriel's silence will break, and when it does, it will be the most powerful message humanity has ever received. But until then, we wait. We wait with anticipation, we wait with faith, and we wait with the knowledge that everything that has happened and everything that will happen is part of a greater plan, a plan that will one day be revealed in full. Gabriel's silence is not the end of the story, it's just the beginning. And when the moment comes, when the silence is broken, we will be ready. Gabriel's silence is a divine warning. Prepare your heart now. For 2,000 years we've waited. And in this silence we've missed the most crucial message of all. Gabriel, the archangel who once heralded the birth of Christ, the one who delivered messages from God to the greatest prophets, has been silent. But what if that silence was never meant to be an absence? What if that silence is the loudest warning we could ever hear? Imagine this. You're standing in the calm before a storm and you hear nothing. The winds are still, the air thick with anticipation, but deep within, you know something is coming. Something so powerful, so world-altering, that it shakes the very earth beneath your feet. That is the power of Gabriel's silence. It's not that he's absent. He's waiting for the right moment to deliver a message so profound, so important, that it will change the course of history. Why has he remained silent for all this time? What is he waiting for? The answer is simple but unsettling. Gabriel is waiting for us. We, the people of this world, have yet to prepare ourselves for the magnitude of what is coming. The silence is not a lack of activity. It's an invitation, a call to action, a divine wake-up call. Think of your own life. How often have you found yourself in seasons of waiting? You feel like nothing is happening, and yet something inside of you knows that change is just around the corner. It's in these moments that we learn the most profound lessons. The waiting, the silence, the preparation. It's all part of God's greater plan for you. Gabriel's silence is a call to prepare your heart, your mind, your spirit, for what is coming next. When you stand still in those quiet moments, when the world seems to be moving around you, remember this. God is at work behind the scenes. Just as Gabriel's silence is part of a divine orchestration, so too are the quiet moments in your life. They are never wasted. They are preparing you for the breakthrough, the revelation, the awakening that is just ahead. And when the time comes, when Gabriel finally speaks again, it will not be a soft whisper. It will be a declaration that shakes the heavens and the earth. It will be the final announcement, the message that brings everything into alignment. And in that moment, when Gabriel speaks, you will know that the time is now. But here's the lesson. You don't have to wait for Gabriel to speak before you start preparing. The silence is not a time of passivity. It's a time of action. This is the moment to prepare yourself, to listen deeply, to strengthen your faith. Because the moment Gabriel breaks the silence, everything will change. And if you aren't ready, you will miss it. The silence is the warning. The silence is the preparation. It's not just Gabriel who is waiting. It's us. Are we ready for the next chapter? Are we prepared to face what is coming when it comes? This moment is about more than just waiting. It's about transformation. Gabriel's silence holds the power to change everything, to reawaken the world to the divine purpose that has always been there. We must prepare ourselves, not just for the message that is coming, but for the revelation of who we are meant to be in this moment. The time is now. Prepare your heart, prepare your mind, and prepare your soul, because when the silence breaks, you will want to be ready to hear every word. As you stand on the precipice of eternity, with every word you hear carrying the weight of divine truth, think about the silence that has shaped the world for over 2,000 years. Gabriel, the archangel who once delivered prophecies that shook nations, has been silent. What is he waiting for? And more importantly, what is this silence teaching us about our own lives, our journey with God, and the world's ultimate destiny? It's easy to think that the silence means nothing, that it's just the absence of divine intervention, the pause between one act of God's will and the next. But I want you to stop for a moment and consider the possibility that this silence is one of the most profound gifts God has ever given us. It's not an absence, it's a space, a sacred pause, a divine breath before the next revelation, the next great act of prophecy that will reshape everything we know. Gabriel's silence speaks to us in the quietest of ways, through the quiet stirrings in our own hearts. How many times have we found ourselves waiting, feeling like we're in the stillness, in the silence, unsure of what comes next? The waiting feels like it's endless, like nothing is happening. But what if I told you that it's in the silence that God prepares us for the most extraordinary moments of our lives? Think about it. Gabriel has been waiting for the perfect moment to break the silence and deliver the next divine message. But before that moment comes, before the heavens are opened and Gabriel's voice calls out again, we are being prepared, refined and shaped in the silence. Just as Gabriel must wait for the divine moment, we too are called to wait with patience, to trust in God's perfect timing, and to prepare our hearts for what's to come. In our lives, we often want things to happen right now. We're constantly moving, doing, searching, striving for the next thing, the next breakthrough. But what if the breakthrough you've been waiting for is already unfolding in the silence you've been ignoring? What if, just like Gabriel, God is preparing you for something far greater than you can even imagine, and the silence is His way of getting you ready? This is the power of God's timing. It's not a delay. It's not an absence. It's a divine pause, a sacred moment where you are being prepared for what's next. And when that moment comes, when Gabriel speaks again, you will be ready to hear the divine truth that will transform your life forever. But here's the most beautiful thing about this. The silence isn't just for Gabriel. It's for you too. It's a call to reflection, a chance to step back and consider your own journey with God. The silence is a chance for you to be still, to listen, and to allow God to speak to you in ways you've never heard before. It's in the silence that we learn to trust in the unseen, to believe in the promises of God, and to be prepared for the miraculous. Every season of waiting, of silence, is a season of preparation. It may feel like nothing is happening, but God is at work behind the scenes. He is crafting something incredible, something beyond your understanding, and when the time is right, it will be revealed. Just like Gabriel's silence, your waiting is not wasted. It is part of the grand plan that God has for your life. The breakthrough is coming, and when it does, you will see the beauty of God's perfect timing, and you will be ready to step into it. And when that time comes, when you're ready, when the silence breaks, when the message is finally delivered, you will know it. It will be so clear, so unmistakable, that you will realize this was the moment you were waiting for all along. The silence will have prepared you, refined you, and opened your heart to receive the message with full understanding. So, I invite you to take a moment right now, in this silence, to reflect. How is God speaking to you in the quiet moments of your life? What are you being prepared for in the silence? The next chapter of your story is about to unfold, and it's being written in the stillness. The silence is not an absence of action. It's a divine pause that holds the potential for everything to change. If you found peace in this message, if it's helped you find hope in your waiting, I encourage you to hit the like button and subscribe. By supporting this channel, you're helping me continue sharing God's word, and together we can bring more light into the world. Every small act of support matters more than you can imagine, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of this journey. May you find comfort in the silence and peace in the waiting, knowing that God is always working even in the stillness.